I didn't do it, but when I got that $32,000 check, I was gonna go buy me a Louis duffel bag because I wanted one. Like I wanted one bad.
Somebody in there that's watching this, they done 2 wholesale deals, they done 10 wholesale deals, and they like, look, I'm ready to graduate. I want to skip, sophomore. I want to go straight to senior level, and I want to go ahead and start developing. What would you say? What's some game you get somebody?
What I would say is, like, if you're not growing, you dying. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest quotes that stuck with me. So most people, they don't have the money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about money in your bank account. You don't have the lenders behind you, because my average development deal is like anywhere from $500,000 upwards of $1 million. I'm not going into my pocket and spending that to build a house. You know what I'm saying? So one, you got to put yourself in position to get in front of the right lenders that's going to fund your deal. And then on top of that, what's most important is having a contract.
People get into not even development, just rehabs or any type of lending in general, and they might sign some bad deals. Not bad deals, but bad loans. They might go with a hard money lender that might give them the craziest interest rate, the craziest points, the craziest fees. What's some questions you ask in the development space so people can go ahead and, all right, I'm gonna get the right loan for this?
Bro, you gotta get with somebody that's done it before.
Facts.
Like, that's the number one way. Like, I recommend anybody to get with somebody that's already doing it, that already got that proof of concept. So it's not necessarily about asking a question, it's about getting with the right people that's done it before, because you go learn from their experience, you go learn from watching them. I personally prefer building over flipping.
Yeah.
But people not gonna get on Instagram and tell you, like, those 2 houses I sold last week, I'm still in business with those homeowners for another year. I always tell people, start with the ARV, start with the value. So say you looking at buying a lot and you could sell a house for $1 million on it. Well, I'm looking to buy the land anywhere from 10 to 20% of what I could sell that asset for. So I'm gonna buy the land anywhere from 100 to 200,000. All right. So then that leaves me room to spend about 42% on the construction. You feel me? So now when you add that up and you add your agent fees and your hard money costs, which when you add everything up, you should leave about 20 to 25% for the profit.
The difference between you and a lot, I think maybe because you're a developer, a lot of people don't know their numbers like that. I can ask the same question to somebody that's getting in a house that's flipping properties. Yo, listen, how much you making? They like, I'm just trying to make a couple bucks. I'm trying to make 20 grand, 30 grand. But you broke the whole thing down. I can relate to that because when I'm doing my math, I'm doing the math the exact same way. So you doing like multiple projects at a time.
Yeah.
How do you manage doing 2 new construction, 3 new construction, 5 new construction at one time? Because I know doing
team, bro. That's the number one thing. How do I make $2-3 million building, new construction? All right, I need to do 15 to 20 houses a year. So how do I build 15 to 20 houses a year? So when I started building out my team, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing 12 houses right now as we speak.
That's dope.
So when I start building out my team, I got 2 project managers, which the project managers, their job is to be on site all day, every day. I got 2 virtual assistants that imagine you building 12, 15 houses at the same time. What's going on? A lot of money, a lot of transactions. So I got 2 virtual assistants on the back end. Every time money gets spent, they're taking this transaction and matching it up with this property, this transaction matching up with that property. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's watching this and they won't get into development, you gotta be able to reverse engineer the game. Banks not gonna lend to you. Like, if you never done a deal before, 9 times out of 10, the bank is not gonna wanna lend to you for your construction deal. But a hard money lender is, because they asset-based lenders. Make sure your numbers work. If your numbers work, they go find a way to lend to you on the deal. Development is one of the best skills that I believe anybody could build right now, because when you look at the numbers, the United States is behind 4.5 million houses. So if we behind 4.5 million houses, we ain't gonna build 4 million houses in 1 year.
Welcome back to the Funded and Closed podcast. This is a podcast myself, Derek Boone, I put together for individuals like you who's trying to learn, grow, make more money, just trying to get to the next level, whether it's real estate, whether it's business, whatever it is you're trying to do. And the real reason why I put together this podcast is because when I first got started in real estate, I was listening to every single podcast I could think of. And one of the main things I kept bumping into was people saying, oh, I already got this big retirement account. I rolled it into real estate. Oh, I already had a $5 million retirement or 401k. I rolled it in real estate. Or my husband was a doctor. My wife was. People already had a lot of stuff going on and they just transitioned to real estate. So when a lot of people hear stuff like that, they're like, dang, it's a brick wall. I can't really go ahead and do this. And they just feel stuck. So I wanted to put together my own podcast with individuals I know that's making 6, 7, 8, 9 figures doing amazing things. And they started out from ground zero. So I want you guys to specifically hear these little nuggets and hear this game and take this so you guys can go ahead and start. And I get so excited about these episodes because every single person on here is people I actually do business with, I build with, and actually have genuine day-to-day conversations. So nobody can hit me up and say, yo, listen, I get on the pod, I don't know you, we don't already do things together. It's not happening. So if you see somebody on this podcast, it's literally one of my friends. Literally, we made money together. We have literally done different things together, and I know for a fact they can help you guys. So as I'm excited. I'm even more excited because we just had our Money Meet free networking event. We just finished up, and then we decided to do a free live podcast, which we have a room full of people in here. So this is a little bit different. You guys see the background is different. So this is even more special, more exciting for me. But to my guy, this is someone that I'm about to introduce to you guys that have literally done some amazing stuff in a short period of time at a young age. I know a lot of people that's developing. I know a lot of people that's building blocks. I know a lot of people that's building properties from the ground up, but I don't know that many people that's doing it in their 20s. So, bro, like, you really changing the game, and I want to even give you even a bigger introduction. This is someone that I'm talking about. The second we connected was all love. This is someone the second we connected, he was giving me plays. This is someone the second we connected, all egos was aside. I'm doing real estate, he's doing real estate, but we met as if we were just kids on the playground. We met as if we just genuine friends from day one. So I want to give a nice warm welcome, and I want you guys to understand this is someone that can literally give you a lot of game, a lot of information. So my guy, Abram Mitchell, what's up, bro?
What's good, bro? Yes, sir. And look, I want to give you your flowers because
appreciate it.
Y'all don't see it right now, but we just had a packed room out here of people eager to learn in like 20-degree weather. You know what I'm saying? So if that ain't dedication, I don't know what it is. Like,
facts.
My brother Boone really out here changing the game, and people really locked in and they really hungry for this information. So I appreciate you for giving us the opportunity to come out here and share, our gifts to these people out here, bro.
My man. So look, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. But before we go ahead and, get the pod and everything going, one, they don't understand. These are conversations we have. Like, we literally just was in Atlanta, 2 weeks ago? We was in Nashville, a couple months ago. And these are conversations we have already. So one, I thank you for allowing us to record so now people can hear our 7, 8, 9-figure conversations. So before we get into all the great things you're doing, I just want you to just give a little intro to yourself, like, where you from and then how you even get started in real estate.
So I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. Grew up most of my life in Baton Rouge area. Went to college. Shout out to C Murder, Master P. Look, went to college in Lafayette, and then that's when I got into real estate my junior year in college. I did my first wholesale deal. I learned about it in July 2018. Bought a course, did my first deal October 19, 2018, then dropped out, moved straight to Nashville.
Dang.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that. So you just got that course, learned your stuff, got situated, and then moved straight. Why Nashville though?
Because I had some family there. My uncle was really the one that I'm on the phone with him talking because he was in real estate, and then I'm like, how can I get into this game? You know what I'm saying? So he always tell me, you gotta get your credit right. You need to start stacking your money, and then you'll be able to get into it.
Right.
And then one day we on the phone, and he mentioned something about wholesaling. I'm like, I didn't ask you about real estate about 30 times, and finally you mentioned something about wholesaling. So he sent me a video, and I start looking at videos, podcasts, and I'm seeing people. The main thing that got me was people my age was doing it. Like, so like you saying, it ain't gonna really motivate you if you see somebody that's 40, 50 years old. No offense to those people, or somebody that got a retirement fund or something like that. I was seeing people that came from nothing like me, that came from zero, that was flipping properties without having to own them, without having credit, license, none of that. And that's what I wanted. I wanted something that sounded like a scam. Like, I mean, like at the end of the day, I'm in college, so I ain't got nothing. So I was like, it gotta be too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
And when everybody say, oh, because everybody I was telling about it, they like, that's a scam. When they go right, I'm going left. You feel me? So the more I looked into it and I'm seeing this person, that person, my age, and having similar stories and making 6 and 7 figures in this game, I was like, all right, I'm getting into it, no excuses. This my opportunity that I prayed for.
So let me ask you this. How much was that first wholesale deal?
$32,000.
Dang.
10 million if you ask me.
Damn.
Yeah.
My first wholesale deal was $4,000.
Yeah.
So $32,000, that's a good. Now let me ask you, keep it a bean, be honest. Did that $32,000 did that give you like a little ego? Because I know a lot of people, when they get that first big check, especially coming from not making no money, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm him.
Nah, face, because what's crazy is I didn't do it, but when I got that $32,000 check, I was gonna go buy me a Louis duffel bag because I wanted one. Like I wanted one bad. And my dad was like, you go get one from Nordstrom for the low. And like we went, they took me to the store and they had one there and I ain't do it. I was like, I ain't gonna buy it. So I ended up dropping out. And what's crazy is I had another deal that I set up to close the day I was moving to Nashville. So December 10th. So I get to Nashville and the dude backed out on the day of closing. So I'm like, damn, this first deal was so easy in a sense, and I made $32,000. Then the very next deal, I find out an investor could not come through on the deal. So then I had one or two options. I could either walk away from that. Like when you put a property under contract, you make it all the way to the closing table. It's somebody else on the other side of that deal that packed up everything and they making on their property to sell. I end up emptying my account and buying that deal. You know what I'm saying? So I went from having, I think I had like $14,000 left at that time. I had put a bunch of other money into hiring cold callers, more mentorship and stuff like that.
Reinvest.
I had to reinvest into the business. And then I spent all the rest of the money just to get with a lender to buy that deal on that day. So now you talking about dropping out of college. So going from closing your first deal, dropping out of college,
30.
and now I'm down I'm at like $1,000 in my bank account.
Dang.
So I'm like, damn. I'm like, I might need to double back, go back to school, you know what I'm saying? But that's just a thought, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I knew I was gonna get past it. So we end up selling that deal, like probably like 2 months later.
How much you sell it for?
$17,000. So $217,000.
So you made $17,000.
Yeah.
Oh, that's love. So you got your money back and then
got
made
my
17.
money. Yeah, got my money back.
So at what point did you have, I don't know, was that first deal or that second deal that had that proof of concept? Because I think everybody has that moment. It might be their first deal, it might be their fifth deal. We're like, oh, this is.
It was the first deal. That's why I call it my $10 million deal. Because it was like, I had always been around entrepreneurship in a sense. Like my people, they hustlers. You know what I'm saying? They self-employed. So I didn't wake up every day seeing my parents go to a 9-to-5 job. I woke up maybe seeing my parents sell plate lunches. Woke up seeing them hustling the firework business, doing what they got to do to make ends meet until they came across what they do now is the glass business. So my mind was already in the mindset of a job that wasn't even a thought for me. You know what I'm saying? So I always was in college. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I pray to God, I won't be rich. Like that simple. I won't be rich. Just give me the opportunity. Like, show it to me. And this be the main difference with people when it come to like praying and asking God for opportunities. Like when you pray and ask God for opportunities, that don't mean you gonna be walking up the street, see $1 million check on the ground. Like you go, when God, when you pray for flowers, God go give you rain. You know what I mean? So the rain for me was wholesaling. So whole time I'm praying for this opportunity, which is the vehicle, which was wholesaling. And as soon as I seen it, I hopped on it. And that's what most people need to do. Like when you pray for something, God go show you certain opportunities and it's up for you to hop on that. And that's what I did with wholesaling.
That's fact. So now I want to talk about how you transition and I want to make sure we shed light on this. You just closed a couple of deals, several $100,000, like between, I think you just sold 2 houses?
Yeah. What
was the total, like, not the money you made, but the total amount each house sold for?
So 900,000 and 500, so about 1.4.
You did about $1.4 million in deals between 2 deals.
Yeah.
The same
last 2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks, the same guy's first deal was $32,000.
Yeah.
Yo, I know you're enjoying this episode. I know you're getting a lot of game and a lot of value, a lot of information. But is it okay for me to give you even more value? Is it okay for me to give you more information? So if you just said yes, what I want to do is I want to give you access to a free training that I'm having 100% free. You can log in. If you don't like, you can log off. It's 100% free. In this training, I'm going to show you guys the 4 steps that I utilize to be able to buy properties, rent properties, make money on property. Like this building we're in right now is 100% mine. And we do that. And I have done that doing those 4 simple steps. So what I want you guys to do is go to fundedandclosed.com, just like the podcast, but fundedandclosed.com. And you're going to be able to register for the free training. Like I said, 100% free. And it's going to give you those 4 steps that I utilize to build my real estate empire. And you can do this exactly where you at right now. So look, we're going to get back to the episode. But before we go ahead and finish, press pause, go to that website, go ahead and RSVP for the training. And I'm going to see you soon. Let's get to it. So I just want to give you your flowers on that because a lot of people made this overlook that like, dang, went from dropping out of college to go ahead and making $32,000 on one wholesale deal to now going ahead and do $1.4 million in deals between 2.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot. So I want to ask you, what kind of game would you give somebody that want to transition into that lane, going from wholesaling? Because you even said it out there, like wholesaling is just, freshman level. Yeah. Which is nothing wrong with it, but that's how you're going to get started. But with somebody in there that's watching this, they done 2 wholesale deals, they done 10 wholesale deals, and they like, look, I'm ready to graduate. I want to skip, sophomore. I want to go straight to senior level, and I want to go ahead and start developing. What would you say? What's some game you give somebody?
What I would say is like, if you're not growing, you dying. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest quotes that stuck with me. So if you find yourself wholesaling and running in circles, then yeah, you could skip to that development level. But at the end of the day, okay, you got to start asking the right questions. What do I not have now that a developer have? Most people, they don't have the money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about money in your bank account. You don't have the lenders behind you, because my average development deal is like anywhere from $500,000 upwards of $1 million. I'm not going into my pocket and spending that to build a house. You know what I'm saying? So one, you got to put yourself in position to get in front of the right lenders that's going to fund your deal. And then on top of that, what's most important is having a contractor. You know what I'm saying? And being your own contractor is super important. But when you first starting off, it's hard to be your own general contractor, because where you go get your subs from? You know what I'm saying? So getting that money and then also getting a team that can execute on the deal. That's the biggest thing.
All right, but so it's obvious you're going to need that bag and you're going to need that funding. Yeah. And it's not just no $20,000, $50,000 credit card funding. You need some big money. Yeah. What's some questions you ask lenders that people can need to listen to so they can ask lenders the same thing so they can go ahead and get in development and not go, because I see this happen all the time where people actually, I think Girl was about to say it earlier, where people get into not even development, just rehabs or any type of lending in general, and they might sign some bad deals. Not bad deals, but bad loans. You might go with a hard money lender that might give them the craziest interest rate, the craziest points, the craziest fees. What's some questions you ask in the development space so people can go ahead and, all right, I'm going to get the right loan for this?
Bro, you got to get with somebody that's done it before. Facts. Like, that's the number one way. Like, I recommend anybody to get with somebody that's already doing it, that already got that proof of concept, because, like, it's different whenever you going in there to ask a hard money lender for a loan and you don't have any experience or you don't have anybody to vouch for you. But say you find a good opportunity, which is a deal, and then you bring in a general contractor or you bring in a partner that's done it before, and now you position yourself as a partner of that partner that already built the trust with the hard money lenders. That's what I did. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily about asking a question. It's about getting with the right people that's done it before, because you go learn from their experience. You go learn from watching them.
But not even that, though. Now you might save some money. Now I'm talking about not saving money on the aspect of time. Say like real cold, hard money. My one of the deals I did, right? And also people need to understand it's cool with giving up some points so you can actually get ahead. One of my earlier deals, the lender was basically like, yo, listen, we can go ahead and do 100% finance on this deal if you bring somebody that done 10 or more deals. So this was early on, so I only did a couple deals. So they said, look, you're gonna have to put up 25, 30%, whatever the down payment was, plus the fees and everything. And they said, or you bring somebody that done 10 or more deals, and then they can go ahead and you can leverage them on the deal. And then you won't have to put up no money, less fees. The interest rate was crazy different. And I'm like, dang. So I called my homie. We ended up putting the deal together. And I had to give him a piece of everything. But on the same token, think about all the money I had to put up. Think about all the money I had to lose. Think about all the fees. But then also on top of that, this was early on. I was able to use his contractor. I was able to use some of his subs. So what you said is important. I want to make sure I touched on that, because even it worked out for me.
Yeah.
And then for my one of my mentees, I let him partner with me on a deal. We about to go ahead and put this house on the market tomorrow. I think either today or tomorrow. It went over the market today or tomorrow. And there I added him to the deal. He invested in the deal. He put up $10,000. Now he about to flip, make his money back, plus profits on top. And then now he put that as experience. He just got another house under contract. He don't got to put up no money, 100% financing.
Simple. And
Because now he got me put it exactly.
That the subs, because like
oh yeah, I gave him everybody.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So like I think somebody out there on the panel was saying be your own general contractor, which I agree with that 1,000%. But when I go back to think about my first deal, is no way I could have been my own general contractor, because building different than flipping. You know what I'm saying? Like you got framers, like you building a house brand new, and you got to offer a warranty. You know what I'm saying? So you could get the house built and get the UNO on it and then sell it to somebody, and then something wrong with it, that's on you.
I ain't thinking about that.
You know what I'm saying? The warranty lasts for a year, but at the same time, it's your brand on the line. So I got people that if they'll call me after the warranty and I still will go fix it, because at the same time, you don't want somebody to blast you online and say, hey, they sold me this bad product, or they sold me this house and they ran out on me, or this not working right. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, I know nothing perfect. You know what I mean?
I ain't thinking about that.
Yeah.
Dang, every house that I had flipped, I'm gone.
Yeah.
But I ain't never had no problems at that. I had one problem.
It's like a new car.
Yeah.
You got warranty on the new car.
Yeah, but I'm like, yo, it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm making a new LLC every house I flip, so it don't even matter. But even, I never had no situation somebody had to call back. I only had one situation where the guy called back, and it wasn't even for the fact that something was done wrong. He wanted to add some stuff. So we did everything that was on the home inspection list. But then like months later, he was like, hey, the home, something was wrong, something electrical, something small, but then he tried to stack the list up because he was trying to add a whole nother, he was trying to do some extra stuff, but that's probably the only time.
But that's the main difference. People don't talk, everybody make it seem, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of, I personally prefer building over flipping.
Yeah.
But people not gonna get on Instagram and tell you like those 2 houses I sold last week, I'm still in business with those homeowners for another year. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like a new car. You buy a brand new car off the lot and you drive off the lot and they say it need an oil change. What you gonna say?
Yeah.
You be like, well, wait, what's up with this? You telling me this product brand new. So whenever you building a house ground up, you need to understand that you offering somebody a brand new product. So you do have to offer a warranty with that product. You see what I'm saying?
About it like that.
So you responsible for that.
How long, like your typical developments take?
About 6 months.
That's quick.
Yeah, 6 months for the build from breaking ground.
Y'all building right up on the slab, right on the concrete, you all excavating?
Nah, we do both. We do slab and we do crawl space. Yeah, in
right,
Nashville, we do crawl space, we do slab. Sometimes you have a basement. I know in Texas they do mostly all slab. It just depends on the location you building and the topography of your lot.
Yeah, in Philly, we got to dig.
Yeah.
So with these 6 months that you got, right? What is your typical, like, what is your minimum? Like, I'm not taking less than that, because 6 months, like, it can't be no 20.
No, I'm gonna break it all the way down for them. So like, when it come to building houses, I focus on infill development. So infill is different than raw development where you buying 10, 20 acres and you got to bring in the utilities. I want to move quick. So I'm gonna go into a neighborhood where it might be a house that I'm gonna tear down, or it might be an empty lot in between houses already, where I got sewer, water, and electric already there. So all I got to do is buy this lot, get my plans, get my permits, and start building. So most people that's trying to get in the game, what they don't know how to do, they don't know how to analyze the deal. So I always tell people, start with the ARV, start with the value. So say you looking at buying a lot and you could sell a house for $1 million on it. Well, I'm looking to buy the land anywhere from 10 to 20% of what I could sell that asset for. So I'm gonna buy the land anywhere from 100 to 200,000. All right. So then that leaves me room to spend about 42% on the construction. You feel me? So now when you add that up and you add your agent fees and your hard money costs, which when you add everything up, you should leave about 20 to 25% for the profit. You feel me? So the most important thing is starting with the ARV, which is the high end value, getting the land about 10 to 20%. Your construction should be about 42% of the ARV. Your hard money loan is gonna be about 8%. Your realtor fee is gonna be about 6%. your closing costs gonna be about 2 to 3%. Once you add all those numbers up, you still gonna have about 20 to 25% left over.
You know the difference between you and a lot, I think maybe because you're a developer, a lot of people don't know their numbers like that. I can ask the same question to somebody that's getting in a house that's flipping properties. Yo, listen, how much you making? They like, I'm just trying to make a couple bucks. I'm trying to make 20 grand, 30 grand. But you broke the whole thing down. I can relate to that because when I'm doing my math, I'm doing the math the exact same way.
Numbers is numbers.
Numbers is numbers.
You gotta take the emotions out of it.
Exactly. My flips, my holes, I'm doing the exact same way, the exact same numbers. Now, my question, and this is for me personally, and for people that's watching, how important is the paperwork and the timing? Because I just was sharing out there that I got a bunch. So I started as an agent, then I went to wholesaling, then I went to, pretty much buying and holding. And I was coming across all these lots. So I just started buying lots. Like right now, I own a bunch of lots I ain't do nothing with yet. Some of my students I taught how to wholesale. I started buying lots over them. I started buying my own lots. Stuff would just fall in my lap. You just have extra money. You just start buying 20,000, 30,000. I bought some $100,000 lot, $80,000 lot. I'm not proud to say they still just sitting. But one of the reasons, and I'm gonna be honest with you, a little bit between fear and laziness. So I didn't start I'm about to start developing on now. So the permit just got issued. So I'm about to start on. I tried to talk to Leonard.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
that's hard.
it's about to be my first one. We're gonna break ground everything next month.
And then you locked in with somebody that you could call up.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you.
It ain't about if, it's when.
Yeah,
you gonna run into something and be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But you made sure you were surrounded with people that you could call up and be like, hey, I ran into this. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna make sure everything right first. But one of the reasons why I did not start, and I feel like somebody watching is gonna be the same thing, is because fear, like, dang, this a whole new build. Not to mention, I tore their house and rebuilt them back up. But we call it existing construction, new construction. So I tore down the front wall, tore down the back walls. I had buildings that collapsed.
That's harder than a new build to me.
Yeah, and this stuff that I did, and then somebody had to come to me and was like, bro, you done like 5 of these already. Yeah. And I'm like, no, but we ain't. They was like, yo, you literally did the same thing already. It's just you ain't start with the land. And that's what hit me like, damn, I might as well start. But the other piece is, I'm lazy when it comes to paperwork, bro. Yeah. Like getting the permits from the city, doing all this. Yeah. I'm like, I ain't got time for that. So what's for somebody that's watching that's like, I want to get a new bill, but they might got paperwork problems. How do you help with that? Because you got to do that all day.
Bro, like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I learned when I first started off, it'd take me about 3 months to break ground.
Just to get the paperwork right.
Just to get my permits. Now, bro, I buy a lot. I'm breaking ground on it within the first 30 to 60 days because I know how important that timing is. That's good. Because take, for instance, we got all this news about tariffs. In 2022, summer 22, interest rates went crazy. So at the end of the day, you got to understand, land is not really a valuable asset until you build something on it. Because how can you extract cash on it? Yeah. A parking lot, you know what I'm saying? There's only a few ways. Unless you just land banking and you buying the land, letting the cash sit there, and you plan on selling it somewhere down the line. But me, I'm getting in and getting out. So I can't afford to sit on this land for 3, 4, 5, 6 months plus and not do nothing with it. So I learned from seeing like, damn, when I pencil my deal at the end, I'm like, where's all this cost right here? It's holding cost because I was being lazy with the paperwork. So I started going into the codes office on my own, building those relationships, because when you go in your codes and planning office, you're going to start finding out these people work there for 20 plus years. It's the same people. So you start building those relationships with those people, and then you start learning the process because it's different for every municipality. So every single deal that I've done, I've gotten better at it. And now I know, okay, as soon as we put a deal under contract, the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting a survey, I'm getting my architect to get the plans together, then I'm getting my site plan. Because that's the 3 pieces of paperwork I need in order to start permitting. And then once I start that permitting process, the better I know on the front end what the city want, then I don't have to worry about the city coming back and saying, oh, you within the setback, or you need to push the property back or something like that. You know, so I got better with knowing how they want the paperwork to look, to where now when I submit for permitting, boom, I'm getting my sign outs quick, and then boom, I can start building.
You smart. I ain't gonna lie. Right now, I got a couple $100,000 just in land.
Yeah.
That's just sitting.
Just sitting there,
I'm talking about been sitting for some years.
But at least you got cash in it, and you ain't got to imagine somebody that got me, I always use hard money lender. So I was just buying them and then sitting them. So at least you saving some money by being able to land bank it. But imagine somebody like me that's using a hard money lender, and they charging me interest every single month on them deals.
Yeah.
So how long you been sitting on those deals?
The first lot I bought had to be in 2020. I bought this lot for 80 grand. And you know how pissed off I was? I wasn't pissed off, but it actually was a blessing in disguise. I bought this lot for $80,000. And I had a partner on it. They was going to put up 40. So 40 and 40. And this was 2021.
Nice.
No. This is 2022. I'm lying. 2022. They are closing, they backed out.
So you had to put the whole...
I put the whole thing down. I was pissed off.
So just imagine if the 200,000 was hard money and you've been paying roughly $2,500 a month for the last 3 years on that land, holding it.
Yeah.
Now your real cost of that land to be whatever $2,500 over the last 3 years is.
But the thing is, I actually did do that, but I did it in a different way. I found this lender that will go ahead and lend on land, like refinance the land. So basically what I do is they'll go ahead and give me a loan for 70% of whatever the land is worth. Just raw land. I took that money and I put it into this, this is a long story, but basically when Forex and all that stuff was jumping, my homie was pretty much, he had to connect with somebody that was trading for you. So you put the money in his account. I don't advise this for nobody. Well, so I basically said, all right, boom, I got some money sitting in this land. I ain't doing nothing with it right now. I just so happened to come into this lender. They gave me, I promise, they gave me 67, 70,000. They gave me, I think it was like $60,000 at because it was worth 80. They gave me like 60, 62 or something like that. I took the whole 60. I put 50 into the Forex account. That thing turned into like 150. It went past 150, but it turned into 150. I took that all the way out.
Took it out.
I took that all the way out and then let it run. The funny thing is, turned out to be like a Ponzi scheme.
I seen that stuff on there. I lost mine.
No, you know how you gamble? Let me put my bread back in my pocket, my chips back in my pocket. So everybody else that was in it, they lost all their money. My man, he put $1 million in. He lost that whole $1 million. Me, I took my 150 out. So the money I put in plus another 100 on top, I kept my bread. And then like if I log in right now, let's say we up 10 million right now. That's all monopoly money. But so I did do the leverage with the land thing, but I did it for another move. And then, so I was able to get out of it. But I ain't gonna lie, like that paperwork and stuff was something that scared me, but I'm excited to finally get into it, finally just like grow up, I guess, and just handle it. Because, you know, when we doing rehab, we kind of back block. I ain't putting on permits. I'm just getting the job done. So now I want to ask you, right, what's your goal? Like, so you doing like multiple projects at a time. How do you manage doing 2 new construction, 3 new construction, 5 new construction at one time? Because I know doing...
Team, bro. That's the number one thing. So like I was talking to somebody about that just now a few minutes ago. So you go from doing, okay, one house, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like you could manage one project. But at the end of the day, I'm a numbers person. So I'm like, okay, if I could do one house, I don't touch a house unless I'm making 6 figures on it. See what I'm saying? So like the cheapest house I sell is $500,000. I'm looking to make a 20-25% margin on that deal. So that's 6 figures. I got houses I'm selling $2.5 million and up. So when I start calculating the numbers, I'm like, okay, cool. How do I make $2-3 million building, you know, new construction? All right, I need to do 15 to 20 houses a year. So how do I build 15 to 20 houses a year? So when I started building out my team, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing 12 houses right now as we speak.
That's dope.
So when I start building out my team, I got 2 project managers, which the project managers, their job is to be on site all day, every day. They're the ones that's the communication between the subs. They're making sure they work, and they're going over their work to make sure that their work is correct. On top of that, I got 2 virtual assistants that imagine you building 12, 15 houses at the same time. What's going on? A lot of money, a lot of transactions. So I got 2 virtual assistants on the back end. Every time money gets spent, they're taking this transaction and matching it up with this property, this transaction matching up with that property. You know what I'm saying? So then on top of that, I also got little, you know, like I done met some little kids in the hood that, you know, they trying to learn real estate. So I pay them $50 to go clean the job site up, make sure the job site stay clean. So when you look at it, I got a well-oiled machine. And then on top of that, we use technology. So we use Insta360. It ain't like a regular video. It's like we got time? I can show it to you?
Yeah, boy.
Man, look, I'm gonna pull it up to you. Like right now, while we out here, at any given moment, I could pull this dashboard up and I can see what's going on with my projects. So All right, boom. Let's look at this project. Boom.
Get the fuck out of here.
Come on, man. So I can see in real time what's going on. And this one of the properties I sold.
Oh, this is crazy.
And see, I could zoom in on that. I could zoom out. I could do all that. Feel me? So when I wanted to go to Europe. Y'all can see it on camera. But that's like a ultra 3D video. I could zoom in on everything. But one of my, like at the end of the day, bro, we don't get into this to be tied down to your business. You know what I'm saying? So I went to Europe for 3 weeks last.
I remember.
Yeah, last year. So I'm like, how I'm gonna go to Europe for 3 weeks? 3 weeks while building 10 houses at the same time. Most developers, they tied down to their project. So then that's when I start like really getting like serious about leveraging systems and leveraging other people's time, because bro, I want to be able to build my brand, go enjoy myself, enjoy the fruits of my labor, but still at the same time know that my machine is running and is running efficiently.
There's no point in making money if you can't even do nothing with it.
Yeah, facts.
My first time actually doing a deal, and it wasn't even on development. This was just a real estate agent deal. And then, you know, as an agent, you want to be there with your client. And I had planned this trip to Paris, and you know how the closing get pushed back, and I'm like, dang, the trip I already paid for. Like, the best thing that can happen for somebody is them putting in a situation where they just can't be there.
Yeah.
Because then you won't realize I ain't needed as much.
Yeah.
The whole deal closed, everything went through. The client was happy. Money was made. Money was wired to me while I was in Paris. That was that moment for me. I'm like, oh yeah, I ain't never.
You gotta learn how to leverage
people. I'm
people.
gonna be there, but I'm not stopping my entire life so I can make sure I'm at every single closing. So right now, what I do now, I use mobile notaries. So they come to the crib, I sign the deal, do whatever what you know about it, sign everything, and I go move forward. Or I might set things up before I leave, but I like what you said, so I can travel for 3 weeks, because stopping what we're doing to go ahead. And then when we think about it, we stopping millions and millions of dollars, million dollars of ideas so we can sit and babysit grown men.
Like
you would have been sitting there, instead of that video, you would have been sitting there just watching them.
Facts.
I'm not doing that.
And then like, bro, I wouldn't have been able to build relationships with people like you, other people in this room.
We
like,
met in
bro,
Atlanta.
we done seen each other in Atlanta. We done seen each other in Philly now. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm not here to just stay locked in on one thing. Like, as business owners, we build something, we make it efficient, and then we on to the next thing. You know what I mean? And when I say the next thing, I'm not saying a whole different business, but what is my job now as the CEO of my company? To keep the machine fed. So I know that, hey, the bigger I grow my brand, the more opportunities that come. You know what I'm saying? That could be more deals, that could be more business, that could be whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you gotta understand, like, play your role as the CEO of your business. And I was realizing, bro, I'm getting in my employee's way. Like, literally one of my project managers was like, bro, I'm so happy that like you don't be on site no more. You know what I'm saying? Because it, like you said, is either go do one or two things. It's gonna let you know that you got the wrong person in that position, or a superstar go emerge. And the whole time you was in their way.
My man, he got a restaurant. He just was there. He got fired. They fired him from the bed. That's his restaurant. The team fired him because he was in the way, and he didn't realize how much he was in the way until he left, and things was running, if not better, when they fired him. So now he just overseeing. This dude told me this.
And now they about to open another one, I think I heard him talking about.
More than one. This dude told me, he said, when you start getting into real estate, like when you finally trying to turn it up, you need to start sitting from the owner's box. You know, like NFL, the owners be sitting up there in the box. He said, you need to start sitting in the owner's box and stop trying to be on the field with the players. When he told me that, that's when, so now I don't be on projects, on job sites all day long. Yo, FaceTime me. You know, I send you the bread when I check everything, or look, when you done, I'll come out there the next day. So I might go to a project, you know, 1 time a week, 2 times a week, maybe 3 times a week, because there's no point for me to be there all day. When I first was getting started, I was sitting there from 8-9 hours watching them paint, watching them put tile. But it was
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
It was necessary in the beginning. It was definitely necessary in the beginning.
So for anybody watching this, bro, how can you man the ship if you don't know what's going on? Because it's definitely always the moments where the team like, what we do next, and they looking at me. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, I was just on site and we doing 140 feet of modified French drains. You know what I'm saying? And I'm literally showing my team exactly how to do that process. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's because I've done it before. Yeah. So you do have to also be able to step in when I'm not even gonna say if, when they run into something that they literally just don't have the experience to do yet. But one thing I do want, say, because I feel like we ain't got the chance to cover it. Like right now, I'm big on the numbers, bro. Like, so for anybody that's watching this and they won't get into development, you gotta be able to reverse engineer the game. Banks not gonna lend to you. Like, if you never done a deal before, 9 times out of 10, the bank is not gonna want to lend to you for your construction deal. But a hard money lender is, because they asset-based lenders, which means is they want to make sure your numbers work. If your numbers work, they go find a way to lend to you on the deal. So as the person that's trying to get their money, you need to be able to reverse engineer that process. So I'm gonna give it to you just like this. A hard money lender is gonna leverage about 60 to 70% of the value of that deal. What that mean? If you could sell a house for $1 million, the hard money lender go lend you $600,000 to $700,000 between your land purchase and your construction. So this why I always emphasize you need to get your land as low as possible. Anywhere between 10 to 20% of the value. Because the lower you get that land, say you could sell a house for $1 million and you get the land for $100,000. And the hard money lender willing to lend $700,000 on that deal. Now you got about $600,000 of construction costs left that you could play with on that deal. So when people talking about getting a deal fully funded 100%, it's about how good of a deal you get. And you don't know if you're getting a good deal or not if you don't know the numbers.
Bro, I say this every day. I say this.
If you don't know the numbers.
People be trying to get access to $500,000 in credit cards, $200,000 credit cards, don't know how to find a deal. Yeah. Then they get all this funded, and the house worth $100,000, they buy it for $100,000. Defeat the whole process. If not, they paying more than that. Focus on trying to find a deal cheap enough so that way you can do 100% financing. That way you can bring partners in. You could do a lot of different things, which we touched on today. So before we close it up, I want you to go ahead. You help a lot of people. Like, we ain't even touch on that, but I personally seen you have a lot of mentees. I personally see you help a lot of individuals. You help me myself. So I wanted to know, do you have anything somebody can like tap into, or they should just hit you up on Instagram?
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm gonna get that to you for sure. I'm gonna give y'all a free course. I got a free real estate bundle. I'm gonna give it to you so you could drop it in the bio for them. Y'all take advantage of that if you serious about getting into this development game. But just where we at right now, bro. I'm Generation Z. You talked about, I'm 27 years old in this game. You know what I'm saying? So I view myself as a leader of everybody that's before me and people that's 35 and under that's like lost right now. Because I'm gonna be honest, the system, it was crazy. I was talking to somebody the other day. I said the system failed us. They said the system wasn't even built for us. Wherever you want to say, the game is changing right now. Like, we ain't got time to go to college for 4 years and wait to get paid.
Hey, so I know you're enjoying the episode so far, and you're probably hearing some of the plays, but you might be like, my credit isn't there. I don't have the best credit. I may not be able to run some of the plays they're saying. So what I want to do is I want to give you an opportunity for free credit repair. Hey, I said it, 100% free credit repair. I'm going to drop the website below where you can go ahead and get your credit repaired for free. All you have to do is have the credit monitoring software so that way you can pull your reports and this will be fixed for free. All you have to do is go to nochargecreditrepair.com. It is 100% free. All you have to do is have the credit monitoring software so you can actually pull the report and actually see what the score is on all 3 bureaus. And then this system is going to fix your credit for free. So again, nochargecreditrepair.com, and you guys can get access to that. Look, there is no reason why you can't win. This is the link for you to get your credit repair. You're watching a podcast episode where we're showing you how to make money, how to get funded. There's no reason why you can't win. So go ahead and click the link, pause this episode, go ahead and sign up, and then get back to the episode and keep learning, keep winning, keep growing. Let's get it.
So the most important things you need to do right now, if you're serious about making money, if you're serious about taking care of yourself and your family, is build a skill. You know what I'm saying? Of getting the entrepreneurship. Development is one of the best skills that I believe anybody could build right now, because when you look at the numbers, the United States is behind 4.5 million houses. So if we behind 4.5 million houses, we ain't gonna build 4 million houses in 1 year. I'm just telling you that if you do one the right way, you can make $100,000. How many of y'all making $100,000 right now? And let me ask you this, how long does it take you to save $100,000? You know what I'm saying? So you could put yourself in a position where you learn a skill and then now you do it 10 times and you can make 7 figures. So I encourage everybody, if you lost right now, get into this skill, because if you asking when's the best time to get in, it's right now. Like they already saying in the numbers, you look at the build to rent numbers, you look at BlackRock, you look at JP Morgan Chase, they just partnered up. JP Morgan, there's another big institution, partnered up in Atlanta to build over 1,000 build to rent communities. So the goal is for you to own nothing in the future. Like I looked at another article, there's over 110,000 build to rent units right now that's getting built right now. So at that pace, we only on Q2. They building over a couple 100,000 brand new houses that'll never switch hands. Yeah. Like they not building them to sell them. They building them to keep them in control of the market. So at a certain point, home ownership is becoming like literally impossible for Generation Z. Yeah. And I'm gonna prove it to you. How many people you grew up with own their house? Matter of fact, name 5 people you grew up with that own their house. Anybody that's 35 and under. It ain't going backwards. So the best way, if you want own moving forward, one of the best ways is to build your wealth.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So one last thing, I always ask everybody on the pod, you have made a lot of money, done a lot of different things, made 6 figures on each and every single deal. I don't say every single deal, but you made a lot of money. What's some of the things that has nothing to do with business that you spend your money on? I always ask everybody this, they say traveling, they say buying cars, they going shopping, taking care of their mom. Like, what's some of the things you do that got nothing to do with business? I
just posted this on my story yesterday. Some of the best investments you can make into yourself whenever you start making a little money is a chef, a trainer, and cleaners. You know what I'm saying? Because I like a clear headspace. You know what I'm saying? So if those things taken care of, like, it's crazy, bro. Lena know. Like, bro, I was supposed to come out here yesterday. My house was a mess. My dog had pissed on my couch. Bro, I called the cleaning team. Like I said, y'all gotta get this thing spick and span before I leave. Cause when I come back, like I want my bed, I want everything together so I could just have a good night's rest. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like, I mean, bro, the earth is our playground. You know what I'm saying? So like the best thing I could spend my money on has always been experiences. Always.
I feel that. I feel both an experience. Every time when I want to travel, I want to do things, and I just want premium stuff. And I feel, my crib, I want it to look like an Airbnb all the time.
Yeah,
like it's gotta look. That's me. I want to walk in and look like nobody lived there. Like it's just set up, clean, pristine. So I feel you in it. Other than that, I can't really think straight. So, bro, I appreciate you for being on here. You helped a lot of people. These conversations me and you have anyway, but thank you for allowing us to record it so other people can hear it. And
you been dropping a lot of game on me too, bro. Yeah. We was in Atlanta before we went on stage. You gave it up. You use it again today, dog. And we about to use it again right now. You know what I'm saying? So, Instagram.
I peeped that though. So look, what's your Instagram? What's your handle? How can people tap in whatever you got going on?
So Abram Mitchell, ABRAM MITCHELL _ That's how you can find me on all platforms.
Bad. So appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming on here. Thank you for coming out to Philly.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for dropping a lot of game on the pod and with our guests. And again, this was our first live podcast. Man, everybody make some noise.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Look. I got one more thing, bro. One more thing, dog. Because I'm from New Orleans, bro. We know for food and of course po' boys. Dog, you told me to go to Taste to get my first Philly cheesesteak, dog. I gotta shout out Taste, dog, because it was that. If you go to Taste, get the salmon Philly cheesesteak. Real talk. Tell them I sent you.
Thank you.
You heard me?
My man, appreciate it. It was cool.
Yeah, that was good.
It was good?
Yeah.